out there.
What do you mean? Drake, Kelly's dead.
What?
Kelly's dead. You didn't know that? Look, I'm sorry. I didn't want to have to tell you like this, but she got killed. Her body's up there on the floor right now.
Welcome back to the How to Feel Horrors podcast, where we review horror movies and horror movie franchises. I'm Tawan,
I'm Mark.
and today we're reviewing You're Next, released in 2011, directed by Adam Wingard, and written by Simon Barrett. Mark, will you give us the plot summary?
When a Davidson family comes under attack during a wedding anniversary getaway, the gang of mysterious killers soon learn that one of the victims harbors a secret talent for fighting back.
Alright, so You're Next. So this movie is actually one of my picks. These upcoming weeks we're just doing, picks from us that we were interested in, and this one is one honestly I don't even know why I thought to pick it. I just like randomly thought of this movie when we were deciding on it, and I hadn't seen it in a while, but I remember really liking it. And Mark said he hadn't seen it before this, so I was like, oh yeah, let's definitely do this one because this is a very good movie. I'm always a fan of a good like home invasion type film. And this movie kind of gives that feel slightly of the strangers. Like the strangers, it felt a little bit more. Um,
Which I also haven't seen.
oh yeah, you haven't. The strangers like felt a little more. I would say subdued compared to this movie, and the way that like well, I was about to say the family, but really just the way that Aaron was like fighting back in this one, it wasn't the same as like how it was in the Strangers. But because the characters are masked and stuff, and they're doing like a home invasion on the family and everything, this movie really, um, like gives that gives that like feeling of that. But I think what I like about this one is just how it feels slightly realistic um from the way that things happen, but also I like how they have that one person who kind of knows what to do here in Aaron, and it doesn't come off as like corny in a way because sometimes in movies and situations like this where we have someone who comes like the de facto leader, um, it may come off as like a bit corny of them trying to get everybody on the same page and stuff like that. But um, Aaron just kind of had like a bit of like a commanding presence in a sense, which I really liked about this movie. And it takes us all the way to the end, the way that it goes, and then the kills and everything are really good here as well. The how the story unravels as we go a little more along. I just like how everything kind of comes together with this one. What were your thoughts though, Mark, when you first watched it?
Well, this was the first time watch for me, and I don't. I'm not big on home invasion movies. My only really like frame of reference is uh, The Last House on the Left, the original and the remake. So that's kind of what I had in mind when we got into this because I didn't really know what it was about. I thought it was going to be the family just like going up against each other, but this wasn't it, and it was better than what I expected. Simply because, uh, like y'all heard me say when we were reviewing the first Alien, I love a big ensemble cast when we have time to actually get to know the characters before they start getting picked off. And I felt like we were introduced to this crazy dysfunctional family, and I could automatically like relate in some ways. It's like being I'm the oldest, but still being in a family with a bunch of brothers. It's like yeah, you get the dynamics. You know what I mean, Twan. You
Yeah,
have siblings. Like you fight with your siblings. Sometimes your siblings can say absolutely nothing to you, but still annoy you just by
yeah,
like existing. So like when I was seeing all of that and like seeing the siblings interact and seeing how the spouses interact, it was interesting. It gave me something, and I kind of felt bad for Crispin because it's like your older brother's a dick and your younger brother is, I don't know what the younger brother deal was. He just seemed like a lazy, arrogant, spoiled little rich boy, and it was just like he was annoying for like different ways. So I kind of got what they were going for,
Mm.
but it also helped because Aaron felt so out of place, and it wasn't just the accent, which was still like, why is this British lady with these random crazy Americans? Like it was a lot, but like I enjoyed the setup. I enjoyed the intensity. Um, I wish we could have gotten more with the animal mask wearing gang. Because randomly finding out that two of them were siblings and one of them died was like, okay, we could have leaned more into this, but I enjoyed this movie.
I mean, I kind of get what you're saying there, but I mean, they were kind of just the means to the end. Like, so I don't think we needed more of them than what we got, to be honest.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's true. I give you that.
Um, moving along though, were there like any standout type of moments, scenes that you really liked in this movie?
The dinner scene when they're first sitting down and
Mm.
they're about to get like say thanks, and that whole interaction and the bickering was just
What? What's that? What you just said. What was that?
About what?
You said it's unprofessional. Is there something else you wanted to say to me?
No, I was just agreeing with you.
You weren't agreeing with me.
I was. I mean, what did he? I thought he said it was unprofessional.
Don't look at her. I'm right here.
Crispin,
What?
we're having a dinner here.
I'm having a conversation with my brother.
it was funny and it was hilarious. You can kind of see how it like laid the groundwork. When we first meet the older brother, that scene was good for me only because from that point on, I was annoyed with him. And no matter what happened to him after that introduction, I didn't care. I was like, can he die first? Can you just get rid of him first, please? um, the scene where Aaron picks up the phone and she hears Crispin.
Felix. Hey. Felix, is it all done in there or what? I saw my signal came back. Is it over?
Yeah.
And then like she realizes and we realizes that he's in on it was, I don't know. I don't know. I wasn't expecting him to be on it. Finding out that the younger brother was in on it made sense. Finding out that Crispin was part of that was mind blowing to me.
So I think one scene that I really did like was that literally like the last scene with the police officer where he's about to walk through the front door.
No, because
Just because like there was nothing Aaron could do to stop him at that point. And
I mean, he shot her. Like, I get from his perspective, like he had just saw her kill Crispin. So, but damn, like I'm glad she didn't die, but the cop, like, come on.
yeah, that
You know what
was
it reminded
crazy.
me of? You know what it reminded me of?
But
It reminded me of the blackening when at the end when they're just like, okay, now we have to call the cops for help, but like it looks like we just killed these people though, and that's the kind of vibe. It's like Aaron's gonna call the cops for help, but like her boyfriend and his entire family is dead. These random people here are dead, and the cop is dead, and there's a bullet inside of you from the cop. Like this all looks bad
all bad.
on Aaron.
Yeah, it was definitely not looking good for her. Like at the end there. Um, Besides that scene, I also did really like the beginning not beginning, the dinner scene, and then when Tariq gets like taken out by the arrow, because just the way that it was shot, like it was kind of like it kind of had like that moment of like, what the fuck just happened? And it wasn't like just like the audience acting it too. It was like all of them were looking like what just happened, and then they all noticed it as well. So that like the way that whole sequence kind of came together was really cool. So I did like that one, and
Oh, are we talking about kills now?
yeah, yeah. So I'm kind of going into kills.
Because like a kill for me would be the garrote wire when Amy is
That was
like
such a
getting
good.
ready to like. But I'm just like, do you you saw them shooting arrows into the house, and no one thought to wonder why are they giving us so much time to like head out the front door? I was just like, oh, she shouldn't do this. She shouldn't do this. And the moment she took off, I was like, yep, saw that coming. And it had like the blood gushing everywhere, and they're all trying to help her.
That that is like one of the just like the moments from this movie. Like when people remember this movie, that's like the one scene besides like the
Really?
that's like the one scene most people remember from this movie. Like that one in particular, that one, and of course the blender kill. Like Aaron was wild for that one.
That was so inventive, but like, girl, you gotta do what you gotta do.
She was so wild for that one. Like that was so funny though. She literally blended that man's head. That was great. But going back to the dinner scene, did you know like the person that got killed there, Tariq, it was is like the director of Pearl and like Maxine and stuff. That's T West.
Oh no, I
Yeah,
didn't.
yeah, that was him. Like who played Tariq, like the boyfriend in that scene.
Oh my, I did not know that at all.
Yeah, that like that was so funny whenever I see that. But yeah, Erin, she did her big one. That's all I can say about her. Like she
I
did
mean,
her
she
big
had
one.
to. She was fighting for her life.
Besides the wire kill when Amy tried to run out. So did you have any others that you liked?
Yes, it's the one. I don't remember her name, but she left the house and she was going to the neighbor's house next door, who we saw get killed in the
Oh
beginning
yeah,
of the movie.
Kelly.
Okay, yes, Kelly, and the landmass killed her because she just like gets up to the window and then just like she's like looking into the house, and then it was the axe just got her right in the head. It it was a good scene
Yeah, it
because
was.
I wasn't expecting mostly because I wasn't expecting her to go. I wasn't expecting to see that house or those people again.
Mm-hmm.
So bringing it back to that was kind of cool. I did like that she was parent trapping the place. That was cool. That was
Yeah.
smart. Most of them kept like getting around it, but I like that she put in the effort. I mean, it only really worked with the cop, but no, she tried. She tried her best. She tried her best.
Well, no, she did get buddy with the nails on the floor.
Oh yes, wasn't that the guy's brother though? Yeah, that's one who died. Yeah.
Yeah, so she got one of them with like the nail on the ground because like she put like two there, like one kind of sticking out that you could see, but then the other one was like right under the
Smart.
yeah, right under the window, so that got her. But that was a good one. She was good for that. Um,
Like my foot hurt just watching it.
yeah, because that motherfucker was in there. I can't even lie. um, besides that, I don't think there were any other kills. Maybe I think about one more that I had to maybe shout out was when she had like the camera flash going off in the basement when she took out the one. I forget which mask it was. Um, thing.
I didn't like that scene.
Oh really?
It had. I feel like it had too much going on. it was just a lot. I'm not good with like flashy stuff happening anyway. But like I didn't enjoy that.
Yeah, I like that one. I thought it was just something a little different. But that wraps up our, you know, kills as we I'm gonna say that over. But that wraps up our kills for your next. Moving along to our characters though. Um we had a good little group in this one, so we're gonna kind of group a couple of these people together. Mostly the family, and then like the like mass killers, and then from there we'll get to some singular characters. But Mark, what did you think of the Davidson family as a whole?
As a whole, they are a dysfunctional mess. I can kind of see how they would end up in a situation like this. Those kids are spoiled. Um, they never really, you can tell they didn't really have to work for anything. So I kind of, it was believable. They were a believable, like, upper middle class family who kids didn't actually want to do anything. They just, think it was a good family. Interactions were great. The dinner scene was amazing, and I don't know. I think they were casted great. The cast, they looked like they were related to each other. It looked fun. It looked interesting. I enjoyed them actually.
Yeah, I kind of say the same. Like the family felt pretty organic. Like they felt like they could actually be a family if I saw these people all together. Like
Hmm.
they kind of cover like each kind of niche in the family, and the way they interacted and everything kind of just how I mentioned earlier just seemed like very organic with the way they like came together. And I think that's kind of like a strong suit of the movie as well, because you know, without kind of like how we have with Aliens, how if the crew didn't feel like they fit together, or like our like group of people, then that's where you kind of lose people early on because they need something to attach to. But and that's where I feel this movie did really good, because the family felt like, you know, like a real family, and the way that they all kind of came together and were trying to, you know, come up with an idea to get out of the situation and all that. It felt pretty organic to what was happening here. So I will say I did like the family overall. But moving along, we also,
Just because if
oh sorry.
if the family didn't, 'cause, like, if the family didn't work, that kind of makes or breaks the film. Like it's about them. Like, yeah, at the end of the day, they're getting slaughtered, but it's like if we didn't connect with them before the killing happened, then the whole movie is just like useless. Which is how I felt about several of those alien movies.
Yeah, I very much agree. Um, Moving along though, we can kind of talk about one of the family members in particular, and that's Crispin, who was the boyfriend of Aaron, and the whole reason why
That
she was
guy.
here. Um, it definitely did catch me as a surprise as well when he ended up being in on the whole thing, because he played innocent very well. And
Is see is it came off as innocent to you?
before the phone call,
But see, I feel like my reasoning for being shocked that he was in on it is also kind of makes sense to why he's in on it, because him seeing him with his siblings, he's the one that you forget. He's the one who's just there. He doesn't have the big personality. He doesn't have the looks. He's kind of just like, you're here because you're our sibling. You're our son. There's nothing special about you. There's nothing intimidating or assuming about you. You're kind of just here. So that's kind of why I didn't expect him to be part of it. But then it also gives, like, it makes sense why he's a part of it. Like, I'm the one y'all don't really pay attention to, and I think I deserve my cut of all the money. So it kind of makes sense to me. I never got. innocent. I got like walked over a lapdog, but that was just me.
Well, I guess that kind of goes into innocent as well, because like when I mean like I guess when I say like innocent, I mean like unassuming. Like
Yes.
I'm not really checking for him, and I think that kind of goes into what you said as well, because like when I see Crispin just looks like a guy. Like I don't know how else to say it. Like he just looks like a standard guy. But then when I'm looking at Felix, I'm like, he might have something to do with this. And I think that's kind of like the difference there. Crispin just kind of looks like standard like guy, but yeah, Felix and like his girl, they were given like either like not saying I knew that they were in on it, but like those two, they just like they were they felt like they were implicating themselves, and I don't know why. Maybe it was just their expressions to whatever everything that was going on or something like that. But yeah, Crispin was just the last one that I was expecting to be a part of it, and then when it did come to that point, I was like, oh shit, well, Aaron, you have a job to do.
And his like explanation to be like, okay, we weren't gonna kill you. We needed somebody here to, to
Like be a witness.
I don't yeah, I don't even know if I believe him when he said that. I'm like, no, you were definitely gonna be like killed.
Yeah, I didn't believe him either. Like it was he really I really wasn't thinking that he would not they would not kill her. It was just
She was 100% gonna be killed. She was
yeah,
100% gone.
it was just like, in the moment he's like, well shit, this bitch done killed everybody, so how the fuck I'm gonna get her off my back?
I'm gonna cut you in. Like, were you? Was that the original plan? Like, if uh, crazy.
But
I'm glad you got got.
since she is on our tip of our tongues right now, what were your thoughts on Aaron, Mark?
Thoughts on Erin? She a bad bitch
Period.
because she took them people out. And then to find out that she grew up in, what did she say she
Like a
grew up?
survivalist compound.
Yes, like what? Like that's random, so random that you grew up in a survivalist compound. Like, but also like these aren't things that see. It just proves my point. He's dumb. You didn't know this about your girlfriend, that your girlfriend grew up in a survivalist compound. You weren't aware of this, sir. Like, these are kind of, if you're going to be pulling this kind of crap, these are things that you need to know. Like, I would have not have brought my girlfriend to be part of this murder I'm about to commit if I knew she was part of a survivalist compound. That she can actually whoop everybody who's going to be here. Like, he didn't think this through. And why are you trying to kill this? But my girl held strong. She was taking them out. She was setting them traps. Honestly, I think she could have got everybody out if they were like smart and listened to her and then just dismiss her.
Yeah, I think she definitely. Well, okay. Besides Amy and the door, I think she could have got. I think she could have got everybody else out.
She could have.
Amy
Oh,
was just a
Amy was gone.
casualty. She just had to. She had to be
Amy was a
sacrificed.
casualty of her own stupidity.
She
That was on Amy.
yeah, she had to be sacrificed. But everyone else though,
Is that what we're calling it?
every
Is that what we're gonna call it? For being
yeah,
sacrificed?
everyone else though, we could have got out of there. Because now that I'm like thinking back on it, like I don't know, like there was no real reason for Kelly to leave like the way she did by herself, and then for Crispin to try to go as well and leave, like let's like yeah I I feel as though if people are on the outside of the house and trying to come in, or they're trying to kill you from outside the house, it's a good idea to think they most likely already have disabled your cars in ways that y'all are not going to be able to get to them.
Yep.
So, like, that's just
Because you don't know how long they've been outside.
exactly.
Like you don't know how long they've been out there. Like they could have touched everything. Like I don't know. It's still just like they shot arrows in, and now they're literally giving you guys time to think. And that door was open for a while. Like I would have thought, hey, why haven't they tried to come in? We shouldn't be going through this door.
Yeah, so they so there's definitely some things that could have been reassessed here, but Aaron was the only one that was giving us um good ideas.
And she kind of just like snapped right in. Like she locked right in. Like once she knew her life was in
Exactly.
danger, she's like, okay, we're not gonna do
That's
this.
why and I think that's why like I love coming back to this movie because sometimes you could watch something like this and you could get really annoyed by character decisions. But like with Aaron, I'm like, you know what? Everything that you did is completely valid, and I
Yes,
have
no
no
notes.
critiques, no notes.
Because I'm like, she again, she hopped right into it. Like she wasted no time to be like, okay, this is what we about to do, y'all. Like I'm not playing. Like this, like this is what we finna do. I don't want to hear any ifs, ands, or buts about it. I'm just like, okay, this is what you need in this moment.
hmm
Listen to her. And again, it just like, is it ever said how long they've been together?
Um, I think it was a couple months. You talking about Aaron and Crispin?
Yes.
I think it was a couple
So
months.
it was a couple months. Okay, because it was just crazy to me that like he didn't know that she was in a survivalist cult. Like, come on now. Like, what? These are questions that the people need to know before you start making plans to wipe everybody out. So, I don't know. That's just me. Plan better.
Yeah. Also, this has nothing to do with her character, but I I always remember that this actress was like in a Step Up movie.
She was?
She was in the third one.
You know, I feel like I've seen the third one, but I don't remember anything past the. I've seen most of the Step Up franchise. I haven't seen the TV show, but I've seen most of the movies, and I don't remember anything past Channing Tatum appearing in the second
All right, y'all. We reviewing the Step Up movies next week. Oh
one. Oh
shit.
my.
Um. Lastly, though, in our little character list, we just have the mass killers or like the gang of killers. Um,
The animal face mask gang.
yeah, animal face mask gang. What a what a crowd. Uh, what were your thoughts on our
The
gang?
masks were inventive. The masks were inventive. I like an inventive mask.
That's
I like
true.
how everyone was like. I like how I can appreciate a good like coordination. We're gonna do this, and it also leads into like code names. You lamb, you're a tiger. This is just what the fuck you're wearing. So it helps to not slip up and say somebody's name. Um, I I think they were good. They fought hard. They were gonna get paid for a job. But like, if this is a paid job, once people started dying, like once my people started dying, we pulling out because my
True.
people dying. This wasn't part of the job. Like we pulling out, and we gonna reconvene, and we gonna catch up with these two people who owe us money afterwards. Because like y'all know we some killers, and you owe me my money. I don't care if they not dead or not, and or else, or we gonna kill you. Or what you gonna go to the cops and say that we threatened to kill you because we failed to kill the people that you hired us to kill? Like no, pay me my money. And I don't know. I felt like I don't know it. Once we saw them interact with the brother, they weren't scary anymore because he was like talking to them, talking down to them bad, and I was just like, if they don't kill him, then I am not intimidated by these people on screen anymore. And they didn't kill him, and I'm just like, bro, like your brother's dead, and he's being disrespectful to you, and you're just gonna let this happen? Like, okay, cool, cool. I like when she started killing them one by one and just taking them out because it was needed. Like they were intense and scary in that first scene when they were killing Eric and all that. But then, like once it got to Aaron picking them off, it wasn't that intimidating. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know if I felt that from it, like after with the brother, well, Felix. I think that was the name, if I recall.
Yeah, I think his name was Felix.
After he revealed himself to be in on it and everything with the girlfriend. Yeah, I don't know if I felt that same way about it, but the way that they definitely came across as being more in control than they actually were for a while. Um, whenever, especially when everything first started too, with the like dinner sequence and all that, it definitely felt like they were more in control until Erin started doing her thing. And I think once she started doing her thing, at that point I knew like she at least was in good hands. Which by that point I really only cared about her anyway. So
Honestly,
once she started dealing with the rest of them accordingly, I was like, you know what, do what you do, cause they they're not coordinated right now. They had it in check at one point, but now they're not coordinated because they like she's like the kink in the plan.
very unexpected.
Yeah, so like if she wasn't there, like everything would have went off without a hitch. But with her being like there, it threw like a really big wrench in their plans, and they obviously weren't calculated for that. So it just immediately like tossed like most of the plans out the window, and it I guess I kind of will agree. It did make them seem less intimidating, especially with how Aaron was like systematically taking them out one by one.
Whooping they ass.
But that is the end of our character list. Did you have any other follow ups for anybody else in the movie, Mark?
No. I just still feel bad for the cop. R.I.P.
That is true. R.I.P. to the cop because there's no way he could get out of that one, unfortunately. But moving along, Mark, do you want to give the people our behind the scenes facts and information?
The budget for Your Next was $1 million and it brought in a box office of 26.9 million. Interesting facts: Lionsgate sat on the movie for over 2 years before releasing it. This was due to test screenings with negative results. During this 2 year period, fans wondered if the movie would ever get released at all. Eventually, Lionsgate put it out in theaters in the summer of 2013. The script was inspired by Agatha Christie's stories, screwball comedies, and chamber mysteries. Not all the dialogue in the movie was scripted. A lot of the dinner table conversation was improvised by the actors. Some of it was based on conversations the filmmakers had with their own family members. The house that the movie was the house the movie was filmed in was vacant for over 12 years. It was given rundown. 'Cause I was wondering, like, this is y'all vacation home? Like, wait, why is y'all vacation home so depressing? Critics' reactions. Movie currently sits at an 80% on Rotten Tomatoes. Vanity Fair called Your Next one of the most entertaining horror pictures in the last 10 years. The Washington Post said the movie is at times bloody entertaining, and if the central plot twist isn't all that clever, at least the movie offers some motivations for its mayhem. Entertainment Weekly gave the film a B plus, praising the Wingard's canny knack for leveling characters' gory demise with sick laughs.
So, Mark, with that, cash or pass, you're next.
This is a cash.
Yes.
I I wish I could have saw this in theaters when it came out because I don't know. I just want that big screen surround sound like feeling of Aaron just like kicking ass. Like I'm actually surprised I'm saying cash. Like I enjoyed this movie more than I thought I was. It was a good watch. I will admit that I've seen it 1.5 more times since I watched it originally for the review. What about you?
Well, it is no surprise here that I am definitely cashing this movie. I mean, I recommended it. I really like this one. This is kind of one of those. Um, I don't like. I want to say like entry, but like one of those like horror movies that I feel like you can kind of put on for anybody, and they would be like intrigued to watch. And like it's kind of low barrier to entry, and I like that about this one. But even if you're like a fan of horror, this is still like really good as well. And I think it holds up still even after all that time. And I like the directing here. Adam Wingard's a very good director. I like some of his other projects as well. And yeah, I just think this is like a fun like horror movie. Erin is a really good final girl. Like she is definitely the final girl out of this movie. She gets shit done. So this is definitely a cash. I think more people should see this one if they haven't.
Well, there you have it, folks. There's our review on Your Next. Thank you so much, Tawan, for giving us your pick. Tune in next week as we give a long awaited review of Alien Romulus. We are planning on watching it the weekend that this comes out, that this episode comes out. So next week will be our raw review. I'm excited. I hope it's good. The Alien franchise has been some hits and
Honestly,
some
I'm gonna
misses.
put it. I'm gonna put my opinion on the line right now and say I will be cashing Alien Romulus ahead of time. I'm gonna say that
Is that because you are a fanboy of the director?
I am a fanboy of the director, and I can tell when something is gonna be gas.
I mean, okay, I take that back because you're a fan of the guy who did, was it part three or part four? I forget.
Oh, part three. You talk about You talk. I know you talking about. I'm forgetting his name.
Yeah, like, yeah, you're a fan of his, and I saw a bunch of his movies that I also liked, and we did not like his Alien movie. So, we'll see. I don't know if I've seen any of Freddy's work, though.
You haven't seen Don't Breathe or 2013 Evil Dead?
He did Don't Breathe?
Yes.
Well, I will preview my opinion. I will be passing if it's anything in the vein of Don't Breathe because I did not like that movie.
Why?
I did not like Don't Breathe. We will get into it whenever we review it on this podcast, but as of right now, sneak preview for that future episode, it's a pass for me
It won't.
on
It,
Don't
it's,
Breathe.
there's no way it could even be like that movie.
Oh, hope it doesn't give the same vibe. I just didn't like his style. I haven't seen any of the Evil Dead movies, so I have no opinion on that at all. I haven't seen any of the movies, the TV show. I haven't played the games,
Well,
so this will be my first time being exposed to
to
him.
the audience, I'm telling you now, Mark will be cashing Alien Romulus. I can bet it.
He will know before the rest of you because we will be seeing it together. So he'll be able to tell me I told you so in person before he tells me on the podcast if that ends up happening. Cause y'all know me, I'm stubborn. I stick to my caches and passes. I haven't switched to one yet, so to find all that out, join us next week. Until then, good night.
you like this episode, please check out the Haddonfield Horror Podcast from big series like Friday the 13th, Halloween, and Saw, or our one-off reviews like The Blackening and Hereditary. You can follow Haddonfield Horrors on Instagram and TikTok, where the hosts post updates and mini-reviews. Full episodes are available on several podcasting platforms and YouTube. If you're listening to us on YouTube, please like and subscribe. The Haddonfield Horror Podcast is produced by Mark Smart,
Maria Perez,
Tawan Griffin, and Elian Cordova. Themed by Lethal Injection and edited by Mark Smart.
The Haddonfield Horrors Podcast is a Letters to Media production.
Should we do an intro?